I never thought a simple parking issue could completely ruin my week, but it did. I live in a townhouse complex in suburban New Jersey. Normally it's quiet, people keep to themselves, and life moves at a slow pace. But the parking situation here is brutal. There are narrow driveways and limited spots, and everyone fights for the best spaces in the morning. My spot is technically mine, right in front of my garage, but in reality, that doesn't mean much. It all started on a Monday morning. I wake up, pour myself a cup of coffee, and head outside, only to find a car parked halfway across my spot. My stomach drops. It's Brandon, my neighbor from across the hall. He's usually friendly, but when it comes to parking, he has this intensity. My first thought is, he can't seriously think this is okay. I walk over trying to keep calm. "Hey Brandon, can you move?" "That's my spot," I say casually. He looks at me, smirks and says, "Relax. I'm just here for a sec." The problem, it's 8:15 a.m. I'm already late for work, and my coffee is getting cold. Inside, I feel a little heat creeping up my neck. Why is it always him? Why can't people just follow basic rules? I take a deep breath. "A sec or not, I gotta get out," I insist. He leans against his car, crosses his arms, and just stares. "You're not the only one who lives here, man." I feel my hands clench involuntarily. Yelling would make things worse. But my mind starts spinning. What if he scratches my car? What if this escalates? What if I get into some kind of fight in the driveway? Then he slowly gets into his car, starts it, and inches forward, directly blocking me. I step back, muttering, "Are you serious?" I notice some neighbors peeking out their doors. Mrs. Henderson, 2 houses down, is holding her phone like she's filming. Great, I think this is going on Instagram in 5 seconds. I swallow hard and try reasoning. "Brandon, come on, man, it's just a spot. Move your car so I can get out." He laughs. This weird, high-pitched laugh, the kind that makes your skin crawl. "You're overreacting," he says, still inching forward. My blood is boiling. I consider banging on the window, yelling something I'd regret. But then I pause. My dad's voice in my head, "Don't make it worse. Handle it like an adult." I take a deep breath. "Look, I get it, but I need to get to work. Let's just move it and be done." Finally, he mutters, "Fine," and slowly drives into the street, giving me barely enough room to squeeze past. My heart is still racing, hands shaking. As I drive off, I notice his back tires dragging through a pile of wet leaves. My brain immediately jumps to the worst-case scenario. Is he doing this on purpose? Trying to damage my car? The rest of the day, I keep replaying the incident in my head. I imagine neighbors talking, laughing about it. I think about calling the HOA, complaining, but then I realize maybe I'm blowing this out of proportion. That evening, I see Brandon outside carrying a box. I notice he's helping a little girl, probably his niece, carry toys into his townhouse. That moment makes me pause. Maybe he's just stressed. Maybe my assumptions were wrong. The next morning, curiosity gets the better of me. I walk over and ask, "Hey, you seemed really rushed yesterday morning. Everything okay?" He sighs, finally letting his guard down. "Yeah, it's been rough. My mom's sick. I was running errands before work trying to handle stuff. I didn't mean to make it a big deal." I blink. All my anger, all my mental scenarios, it suddenly feels ridiculous. I realize I created an entire story in my head where Brandon was deliberately trying to annoy me, when in reality, he was just juggling real-life problems. We stand there awkwardly. I feel relief mixed with embarrassment. "I really overreacted." Brandon smiles sheepishly. "Sorry for blocking you like that." I nod. "It's all right." I guess I jump to conclusions too. Over the next week, things slowly change. I start noticing little things about neighbors. The guy yelling at trash cans? Maybe he's stressed. The woman rushing out every morning? Maybe she's handling bigger problems than anyone knows. Brandon and I even start exchanging small talk in the driveway. A quick joke here, a comment about the weather there. That parking conflict, which had me spiraling into anger, becomes a shared laugh. Then comes Wednesday. I'm coming back from work, and I see Brandon struggling with a lawnmower in the driveway. He looks frustrated. I walk over. "Need a hand?" He hesitates, then nods. We spend 20 minutes fixing the mower together, chatting about nonsense. I notice that life has layers that I never considered before. That tiny parking fight seems trivial compared to the chaos people manage every day. Friday morning, another near miss in the driveway. Brandon and I are both rushing. This time, instead of tension, we smile and give each other a little wave. I feel a strange mix of pride and relief. After all, it's just a parking spot, but it taught me patience, empathy, and perspective. By the end of the month, I even look forward to seeing him outside. We laugh about the earlier conflict, the leaves, the near Instagram disaster. I realize how easy it is to let imagination spiral, to turn small annoyances into dramatic stories. Parking disputes aren't glamorous. They aren't life-changing. But sometimes, the smallest conflicts teach the biggest lessons: patience, empathy, and the ability to step back and see life from someone else's perspective. And me? I've learned how fast I can spin stories in my head and how liberating it is to let them go when I finally see the truth.